Hi YouTube, hi Internet, it's me, Udoka. Welcome to my channel where I discuss my mental health and honestly anything I want to. Why do I have blue makeup on? I just needed a reminder as to how much I suck at doing makeup. One of the things I want to talk about today is Without a Crystal Ball. I'm going to talk about why I unsubscribed from her, how I found her, and just in general. I'm noticing people are coming out, making videos as ex-subscribers, and so I'm one of them. So I found Without a Crystal Ball during the whole Micah Stauffer and Shane Dawson fiascos. And if you don't know what those are or what that was about, Shane Dawson, his old videos were rediscovered. All of a sudden, it's cool to care about what Black people feel about things. And so that's why Shane Dawson was getting canceled. And this guy, this commentary channel, made a fake police report, allegedly, in order to get more views, and was claiming that his alleged fake report meant the same thing as Shane Dawson being investigated into. Katey Joy Poolson, aka Without a Crystal Ball, reported on it. And then the whole Micah Stauffer, she was a family vlogger. She adopted a young boy from China with medical issues. Realized that she doesn't want to deal with a child with medical issues, and basically put the son back up for adoption. Everyone was outraged, and Katey Joy reported on that. So at the time, I subscribed because I was like, this woman is consistently putting out content, and she's finding like the juice, and she's finding documentation and information and stuff like that. I didn't follow the stuff about people being upset that, hey, Miss Without a Crystal Ball, we found that police report to be false, or will you retract your statements? And the drama around that, I didn't know about that. I didn't follow that. I kind of saw it here and there, but I was like, why do I care about this random lady? I don't care about her. So I remained subscribed, right? Once you subscribe to someone, or me, once I subscribe to somebody, I don't really have a reason to unsubscribe. I have to like intentionally go and unsubscribe. Well, after that, I guess she realized that she can get more views and more clicks by talking about YouTube stuff. Because the whole reason I hadn't known about her prior is because her content was about reality TV Christians and stuff like that, and making fun of fundamental Christians or something. A whole demographic I'm not into and don't care about. But once she started getting more into this YouTube drama thing, she was on my radar, and she was on other YouTube creators' radars. So, I subscribe also to The Viewer's Voice, off and on. Like, sometimes he annoys me, sometimes not him particularly, just the drama channel thing. The, hey guys, let me just turn on my camera and blah, blah, blah talk with no new information. I'm just regurgitating what I had heard so that I can get more views and money, because it's my job, right? So off and on, I watched The Viewer's Voice, and this one particular day, he made a comment about Without a Crystal Ball. I think it was the whole Tati thing where her business partner sued her and her husband. And The Viewer's Voice said, I got this information from Without a Crystal Ball. I don't even know why people like her or watch her, but whatever. He said some kind of diss like that. I was like, what's everybody's issue with this Without a Crystal Ball lady? She seems okay to me. So I started researching, started asking around, like, what is wrong with her? Why do y'all dislike her so much? Was hearing different things, reading different things. And of course, oh, well, she said this about that person, and she did this, and she's like this. And I'm like, okay, that's hearsay, that's your opinion. I don't have any personal experience with that. I don't know both sides of the story. So, okay, I see. Then somebody said, well, the reason I don't mess with Without a Crystal Ball is because of what she said about this little girl who has going through a really bad situation with her parents and the lovers of her parents. In my own can I cuss on YouTube anymore? In my own damn city. I'm like, this is happening in my own backyard. I don't even know about it. Let me see what this is. And the person was saying, I don't mess with Without a Crystal Ball because she was dismissive of the claims the little girl was making. So I did research into this. Okay, this is my backyard. I pass these houses every day type of stuff. So it's like, how did I not know this is happening in my own backyard? How is somebody in freaking Minnesota who has how are people with a completely different accent knowing about something that I don't know that's happening down the street from me? So I look into it, do research. I'm appalled. I'm heartbroken. I watched the video of that little girl. I don't recommend it. I'm the kind of person who things don't make me cry. Like, movies don't make me cry. I watch horror movies. I watch true crime. I can watch, murder scenes. I can take a lot. I can visually watch something. I can take a lot, okay? That video of that little girl crying triggered me. I was messed up for the whole rest of the day. I was messed up. As a little girl, I have never been the victim of that kind of thing as a little girl. But that still messed me up. And I was like, okay, let me go back and see, what did Without a Crystal Ball say about this? What can you say about this little girl? Like, how can a human adult watch this little girl and even have something negative to say? Let me see what she had said. Maybe people are misinterpreting her, whatever. I always give the benefit of the doubt in my mind because you never know. And I watched that clip of her saying that little girl was being a brat. I was like, excuse me, ma'am? I watched that clip of her saying, it seemed like she was putting on an act. How is she crying 1 second and the next second she's completely fine? I'm like, ma'am, did you watch the same video? There was no moment in that video where the girl was fine. Are you talking about the moments where she had to pause her screaming and crying so she can breathe to then give an exhale of more tears? What are you talking about? Then she continues on in that same video to say she was using really big words for a little girl. I mean, what kid talks about they know their rights? What kind of kid says that? The kind of kid who has to know that stuff. The kind of kid who's in the middle of two fighting adults going through a court case, and the lover of one of the adults is additionally, what the heck? My light stopped. Anyway, you get my point. That's a stupid thing. I mean, when I knew I had rights when I was 7, 8 years old. I was into that feminist stuff when I was 7 or 8 years old. I mean, you go to school. You know what I mean? Like, you go to school, you learn vocabulary, you read books, you read about history. I learned about What? Women didn't even have the right to vote until what year? Excuse me? You know what I mean? Like, you're not an idiot when you're a child. So that really offended me. That made me so mad. I didn't unsubscribe. I was just salty. Didn't unsubscribe. Just had some salt. She went from somebody that every time I would see her video on my recommended, I would click to see the tea. She went from being on that level to I seen her my recommended. I'm like, But then I started seeing her name on other people's stuff. I was like, what is she doing? What now? I saw a lot of people hating on her, people making jokes on her. I'm like, y'all, this woman is a mess, but what is bringing on this brigade? Because I'm not down. I am down for calling people out. I'm not down for beating a dead horse. I'm not down for that. So I'm like, what is going on? I'm following all this. I can't believe I paid money for this light. Why is it turning off? Anyway. It was BX Beast Boy that first made me be like, you know what? This woman is not right. Like, they're really, like, it's not just she has a messed up take on that situation. She's just not right. Because I started following BX Beast Boy. I forgot why. I think because of the mic, because I don't remember how I started finding him. I just saw one of his videos about something. I thought it was funny, subscribed. Maybe if I reduce the brightness, it'll stop doing that. I don't know. So then I saw him. He's like, hey guys, I'm doing an interview with Without a Crystal Ball. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, that lady seems to have lots of information. She's like Gretchen Wieners. Like, her hair is so big because she has everybody's secrets in it, right? That's how I saw her. And then, like, literally the next day, like 8 hours later, BX Beast Boy posts about how Without a Crystal Ball ain't ish. I'm like, what happened? Why does it seem like anything this woman's involved in turns to crap, like, immediately? Like, when I went to bed, BX Beast Boy was saying, y'all leave her alone. This is her side. She's a pretty cool lady. And when I wake up, he's talking about, I don't mess with her no more. So then I started seeing all the stuff that we all know. We've all seen it. Everything. I mean, it's just too much to mention. And literally every other day, she adds to it. She says something, does something stupid as all hell, and just adds to the pile of reasons why this woman is not okay. Okay? I still didn't unsubscribe because every now and then she has some good tea. Okay? I still didn't unsubscribe. Here's what made me unsubscribe. And I'm not even one of those people who's like, oh, she's so mean to her subscribers. She's mean to the people who actually pay her membership fee. She's mean to that. I don't care some people are into that. Okay. Some people will pay good money for a lady to be mean to them. I don't care about that. For what it was for me, it was the blatant delusionalism for me. It was when she posted that video. I'm not going to show no clips because I don't want to deal with no copyright strike from nobody. Not from Without a Crystal Ball or Critical K or any of these crazy ladies that be on here. She posted a video. She said, people have been lying on me about what I said about that little girl. I'm like, what do you mean? She said, I have proof people been lying on me. I'm like, I would love to see it. Turn the speaker up. Let me hear it. Let me see it. I would love to. I really wish you would. I really wish you would show me the proof that people lying on you. Tell me why this lady, she said, I never called her a brat. I did not call her a brat. context matters. Okay? People are playing the clip of me repeating what one of my subscribers said in the chat without the full context. Let me play you the video in full context. I'm like, please do. Please do. Please do, ma'am. Start. She's the first thing you hear her say in her proof of how she didn't call this girl a brat. The first thing you hear her say is, she was being a brat. And then she kind of changed her tone. Maybe somebody was like, I don't know what somebody in the chat said, but she kind of changed her tone and she changed it to something a little softer. Oh, maybe me saying she was a brat was too harsh. Let me change it to something softer. And she changed it to, I mean, at first, I was just thinking she was being a brat. I just thought she was acting like a brat. Okay, you see this little change? She realized it's not okay to call this little girl a brat, so she tried to soften it and say, well, at first I thought she was just being a brat. Ma'am, still effed. Still effed. Then she went on to say, you know, it reminded me of when my son doesn't get his way. I'm like, ma'am, what? And then it continues. Basically, the proof she played is exactly the same video in the exact same context as what we're complaining about and asking her to hold herself accountable to. So she said, she turned it off. She said, see, nobody's talking about how I said that little girl is a victim. I said she's either a victim of her dad or her mom's boyfriend. Yes, we heard you backpedaling. We heard. We saw, we heard that backpedal ass comment. You still called the girl a brat. She answered the video with, I hope this clears up any confusion. No, you confused me more. Now I literally think you're a crazy lady. Now I still didn't unsubscribe. What made me unsubscribe was when I saw, because I wanted to see, you know what? Maybe she misspoke. That's what, in the comment section before she deleted the video and turned off the comments, the fans was saying, come on, guys, you've never misspoken before. You never, said something and it wasn't the right word and then you changed it before. I'm like, okay, let me see if she's ever said it more than just this one time. I find a video of her going on a YouTube channel of this lady, Critical K. I don't know much about her. I don't want to, just from what I'm hearing, Critical K is not somebody I even want to know. I don't even want to know her past regressions. I don't want to know. You don't need to tell me. Like some of those, some women, their man cheating on them. They're like, if you're cheating on me, don't tell me. Just don't tell me. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Make sure you keep it on the DL. That's how I feel about Critical K. I already know somehow she's nasty. So Katey Joy gets on this other nasty case live stream and repeats herself. Because Critical K was, I just can't believe people are getting mad at you for calling that girl a brat. And Katey Joy's response was, I know, she was being a brat. She was. Like, you don't think kids can be bratty? Duh, kids can be brats when they don't get their way. She was being a brat. She said it like 2 or 3 times on that Critical K podcast. I was like, I'm done. Dee dun 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 in the dungeon. Done. Unsubscribe. I don't want to be associated with this woman. I don't want her popping up on my feed. I don't want to see no more drama about her. At this point, after everything, She has done so many shenanigans up to this point whilst being in a lawsuit by somebody who has the money to take you on. All because you taunted her. All because you taunted her lawyer and said, no, Tati Westbrook's not going to sue me. If she was going to sue me, she would have already done it. And she can't sue me because the stuff that has to come out when she sues me is going to make her look bad. Baby, sometimes you need to learn when you messing with the wrong one. You got slapped with a lawsuit and you're making your case worse. Bruh. Tati is paying her lawyer and the lawyer's assistants on overtime. Makes me want to get into the law field like, listen, I can screenshot for days. You thought deleting it 5 seconds after you posted it was enough? Now, trick is in the evidence. Look at File C. Ma'am, you thought you did something. Anyways, it's gotten to the point where I don't even want to see any more news about her. The only person that I will watch when it comes to news about Katey Joy Poolson, I'm saying her name because she says her name. She makes her name public. If she's harassing anybody for talking about her name or her business email, put up your hands. Put up some hands. The only person I'll watch is Magdarl. I don't remember her YouTube channel name. I'm going to put it in the description. I watch Magdarl because, well, first of all, when I hear that accent, I'm just thinking, Noane, my sister, what information you have for me? I know you will not see me wrong, my sister. But then on top of that, well, not on top of that, like, but what impresses me so much about Magdarl is that she is level-headed. She gets all the receipts. She collects the receipts, honey. There is nobody on this platform who covers tea and drama with as much research and receipts as Magdarl. And she come with the quickness. She's not one of those people she's not like Lovely Tea, where something will happen and Lovely Tea will make a video about it 2 weeks later. Magdarl will make a video about it. She won't make it immediately. It'll take her maybe like 3 hours to collect all the receipts. And she collects all of them. She collects them. I'm like, dang, how did I miss that? How did we all just find out about this and you uploaded a whole ass edited video and I missed that receipt? Magdarl is the mom. And then Emily D. Baker, who I'm low-key mad at. She has something to say about Breonna Taylor. Now, Emily D. Baker, I like you. Yeah, that apology that she issued, that's not an apology. She did not address the phrase that came out of her mouth. That's not okay. Emily D. Baker, I'm waiting. I'm giving you a chance. But other than me feeling salty about Emily D. Baker, she posts really awesome breakdowns of the legal implications of the drama and stuff like that. So those are really the only two people. And BX Beast Boy, because he's kind of funny sometimes. So those are really the only people that I watch about Without a Crystal Ball. I've completely unsubscribed. This woman is a hot mess, and it just offends me to the nth degree that not only did you say what you said about that little girl in the horrible, horrible, traumatic situation that she's in, you doubled down on it, and you proceed to try to convince everybody else that you're in the right. And I think she even posted an apology on Twitter. It's not an apology, y'all. We need to stop saying that people are apologizing when they're not owning up to their actions. In her latest apology, she said, I'm sorry for repeating that comment I saw in the chat. That shouldn't have come out of my mouth. Ma'am, you weren't repeating it. You were expressing what you really thought. and you doubled down on it when you made a apology video, and you doubled down on it when you went on somebody else's YouTube channel who co-signed that and repeated yourself. I can handle a lot of BS, okay? I'm tolerant of a lot of BS. But when you start messing with that kind of stuff, trying to play those psychological games, and on a little girl who's in a traumatic situation, that's none of your business. Not even in your state. This is in my backyard. Done. So that's why I unsubscribed. And y'all, all we can do is pray for this woman that she be delivered in the name of Jesus. Okay? I pray that she get a therapist. I pray that she see a doctor. I pray that she see a psychiatrist. Get herself together. I pray. And I pray for anybody and everybody that has to deal with her in their personal life. I pray for the nurses that take care of her son. I pray for her husband, who sound like he on some BS stuff too, but he's not a public figure. So if he on some BS stuff, he's on some BS stuff in his private life. Let it be. Let the BS remain in the private life. I pray for the nurses. I pray for the lawnmower that has to come mow her lawn. I pray for her neighbors. Lord Jesus Almighty. I pray for her neighbors that have to deal with that. I pray for anybody and everybody that has to deal. I pray for Tati Westbrook. I don't mess with you, Tati, but I pray for you because you're dealing with a woman with some issues. And that's what I gotta say. Thanks for watching. I'm just giving my 2 cents because people are giving their 2 cents. And I guess, y'all, if you're finding value from hearing from the thoughts of somebody that has some kind of sympathy for her, if you're getting some value from it, getting some understanding, you're able to wrap your mind around it. And I like talking about this stuff because when I talk about drama and stuff like that in problematic people, what it helps me is it helps me process just being a human in this world that has to interact with other humans. You know what I mean? Like, it helps me process and understand how people work. How do you deal with people? What if you have to work with somebody who's like Katey Joy? What if somebody like Katey Joy is your boss? Like, how does their mind work? How do you deal with them? How do you prevent yourself from entering a situation that you don't want to be in? That's why I like thinking about this stuff, talking about this stuff, expressing my feelings on this stuff, listening to other people's feelings on this stuff, because it just helps me feel like I'm gaining life experience via somebody else's mistake. And I think that's valuable because that can be applied to how you deal with your family, with your job, with your work, with your loved ones, with your friends, with strangers, with new friends, all of that. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. I seriously love to hear your thoughts. I'm the kind of person who doesn't care if if people disagree with me, as long as you make sense. Or if I ask you, can you make what you said make sense? And you do that, you're logical, you're not trying to attack anybody or bully anybody, that's welcome in the comments. Until next time, much love, much luck. Peace out.